Thank you for joining us to learn how you and your team can track the effectiveness of your display and search ads. In this video, you will learn about the most important metrics to track and ways that you can improve them. Let's get started.
Digital marketing is all of this method in which you pay for a few visitors to come to your site. So there's multiple forms of this: display ads, search ads, social ads. Like I said earlier, social ads is going to be a whole nother topic that we talk about, and it's very relevant today. So we're definitely going to have a webinar on that in this series. But display ads and search ads are other ways of digital marketing, and we're going to go into each one of those. So when we talk about display ads, they refer to marketing your product through visuals like images or videos. So when you're doing a search or you're on a page, like you're on the fishingreels.com, and then on the right hand side there's visuals that are driving that reader to look, click, and go buy the lures from your website because you have the best website, so you're advertising on that. So you've got site placement, you select websites where you want these ads to go, contextual placements, place ads on websites that are relevant to the product or service you're marketing within a set of keywords, and that's always very important as keywords, and we'll talk about that in SEO. Topic targeting, so specific pages with predefined targets. Remarketing is pushing your ads back in front of people who have been to your website. Remarketing is everywhere. Like when you wonder, when like 4 months ago you were thinking about buying a new chair for your living room, and then all of a sudden yesterday you're on like CNN.com and there's an ad for that chair company. Like, how the heck, what? That's remarketing. They're going back. I never did anything, but they're spending money to go try to get me to go back and maybe tell me a better story this time, which will get me to convert. And then intent audiences, so targeting users based on search and browsing they conduct to hone in on their behavior and use as indicators for your target audiences. So there's various strategies to place your ads. And again, all of these cost money. So how much money are you going to spend on each one, and how are you testing to make sure that your money is actually being spent effectively? So the effectiveness is similar to email. You've got cost per click, click-through rate, and conversion rate. So when you're talking to a seller, so for example, one of our favorite websites on the developer tool side is called C# Corner, and then one of our favorite websites on the reveal side well, there's not one favorite, there's several really good BI sites out there that we like to advertise on. And what they do when they're trying to sell you their dream, the dream of making us more money, is they're like, we have an amazing click-through rate, we're going to get your cost per click really low, your conversions are going to be really high. So they're trying to say, like, spend $50,000 a month on my website for your ad, and you're going to get so many people clicking on that ad, you're going to make so much money. But it's up to you to really track it and use the tools to track it, because very quickly, if you're not monitoring how your cost per click is and how your click-through rates are, it's like flushing money down the toilet. And I know accidents happen and you can let things leak for a few months. Money's kind of going out because you messed up on one website or you weren't tracking another website, but this is really where a lot of marketing spend gets flushed down the toilet. And it's amazing. If you're a huge, like for example, you are a startup and you just got funding for like $50 million, and everyone reads the press release, you're like, oh, so-and-so company, $50 million. Well, guess what? They're gonna spend like $49.5 million on stuff like this. Click-through ads, and they're going to be flushing a lot of money down the toilet because their goal is to buy customers through marketing, right? But your goal, because you are a business that survives on happy customers and making money, your goal is to get a low cost per click, a high click-through rate, and a high conversion rate. So monitoring this is super critical. And of course, that's where Reveal helps out, and you're going to see a demo of that in a little bit. So again, let's look at industry averages. E-commerce, dating and personals, technology, they all vary, like travel and hospitality, they all vary immensely on what you're clicking. Now, dating and personals, amazing. The cost per click is $1.40, and what I want to do is get my cost per click even lower. So how can I get it down to 40 cents, 60 cents, etc.? My target cost per click is my revenue per sales times my website conversion times 20%, and that's a formula you can plug in for your own metrics, or tools will help you actually determine that. But I think one of the tools we use, Casey, is Google for this, right?
Yeah, we use combination of your Google Keyword Planner. We also look at Ahrefs for other keywords and their cost per click, and then just our internal data coming through, because you have to look all the way through to conversions. So it's a combination.
And then if I looked at dating and personals here, which is like double the closest, what's your analysis on that?
I mean, it's a popular market. So you'll see also in the search slides that we have here is the more popular that the keywords are, or the higher competition that there are for getting on certain sites or following certain people that are interested in keywords. There's not a huge pool. So I guess I'm not on them, but you have what, like your Tinder or your Bumble or whatever it might be, and there's like a handful of them. So the competition for those sites are particularly high. So your cost per click is then going to be high.
Okay. Yeah, there's that one website where they guarantee you're going to find someone. It wasn't one of those two, but I forget.
I don't know. Maybe Match.
Match.com. Yeah, they advertise on the Hallmark Channel. So, all right. So that's actually some good insight there. And again, this is an area that I'm not an expert on. So what we do at Infragistics is, I know we're constantly adjusting our bidding strategy. And this is very similar to my example of the developers that use our product might live in India, but the tech execs that buy it are in the UK or the US. And so we're adjusting our bidding strategy to show display ads at certain times of day in certain regions and things like that, right?
Yeah, and then you can do things like auto bid strategy, or you can specify your bid strategy on specific keywords. Auto bid takes into account like the people and their what's it called, like their persona, and honing in on the ones that are converting based off the goals that you have in Google Ads, and then as a result, we'll then target that persona higher for your display ads.
Okay, wow. So then site exclusions, I assume, is very important, because we definitely do this. One of the things is, when you have a website, like Infragistics has been in business for 30 years. We've had a BI tool in Reveal for about the last 10, between Report Plus and Reveal. So there's a lot of these backlinks and a lot of sites that might have stuff up that we don't pay, or we don't want people to, we don't want to pay people to click on. So site exclusions, negative keywords, long tail keywords.
Jason, something interesting with site exclusions is, now that we are kind of all working from home and in the world that we are right now, one thing that we internally noticed was we were getting a lot of clicks from YouTube channels around Peppa Pig, which, if you don't know what Peppa Pig is, it's a cartoon for little kids. So a lot of the display ads, because we have like a cool astronaut logo for our Ignite UI product line, were coming from Peppa Pig. So we had to include that as our site exclusion.
Isn't that funny? And
yeah, well, you think people are home, their kids are using their laptops, so they're on their YouTube channels and clicking.
Wow. And when we were at the right before the lockdowns, Phil and I, our VP of sales, were in London, and we were doing an event there. I forget the name of the event, but they had a kids day, and we had a stack of all of our stickers. So we had the Spaceman stickers, the IG logo, Reveal logo, all this. Well, at the end of the day, there were one left in the Spaceman logo, and all the other ones were still full, right?
Yeah.
So, that's kind of interesting. That's really cool. And then what is the long tail keyword is really driving towards a secondary, or what does that mean exactly?
It's more so that, like, for Reveal, like, we target keywords such as embedded analytics. long tail keywords would be that you're targeting the longer sentences that people are essentially searching for. So you're not just specific to, it would be searches that include like terms of embedded and analytics.
Ah, okay, cool. And then of course, number 4, this is critical. Like I said, this is money out the door. You are spending cash to do pay per click, to do paid advertising. So you need to track, compare, and adjust at a high frequency to maximize spend. And we have folks that this is their full-time job. Because if you think like Infragistics used to do back in 2010, oh, we're going to have one person do like 5 marketing functions, you're all of a sudden realizing that you're not getting to your goals. And so having dedicated resources focused on this. Now, if you're only spending like $2,500 a month and that gets, very specific and it's not getting chewed through really quickly, that's okay. But once you start getting into the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, this is real money out of your marketing budget. So you really have to be careful. So looking at these click-through rates by industry, 2 outliers, real estate and technology, that's interesting. So what's the analysis here? I mean, I have my opinion, but what would you say, Casey, is to real estate and technology being the top and the lower end?
I mean, technology specifically, and it's an internal struggle we have, is a lot of people in that industry, they see right through your marketing. So they know when you're clicking on something with like UTM URLs on it, and they avoid your ads at all costs. So the click-through rates for them are a lot lower. I didn't really think about the high click-through rate for the real estate, but when you're in the market, you're in the market, I guess.
Yeah.
So if I'm looking around for, like we are now, for like homes, like I'm going to be clicking around when I see advertising for specific homes and stuff in my area. So that would be my kind of assumption.
And probably like a nice picture makes you click on a home, like your dream home.
Oh yeah, definitely.
White
Nice
picket
pool in the
fence,
background or in the backyard.
pool, yeah, right.
Yeah.
View of the ocean.
Yep.
But yeah, technology for sure. That's almost like, hey, I love it when sales says we don't get good phone numbers from people that download our developer products. I'm like, a developer, it doesn't want you to call them. They're never going to answer. Well,
Yeah.
they're going to answer the phone anyway. Don't worry about it. But yeah, this is all. Make sure the same message as before. Look at your industry and then understand where you should be. Because if I'm in real estate and I'm under like, if I'm at 0.3%, then you're doing something wrong. So 6 ways to improve your display ads through click-through. Make sure you're utilizing different target audiences, such as custom audiences, remarketing, or custom intent. Make sure your ad messaging and design match your landing page. This is sort of important that you're flowing through into that experience, the user experience. Provide a clear and powerful value prop. This is where we're always tweaking. So what we do is we don't leave it up to one person to decide what this is. The marketing team and Casey and others, they create spreadsheets based on the ads and not even looking at the visuals of the ad, but what is the call to action, what's the message, and then that gets circulated and then people comment on it. And it's important to include a bunch of people because, for example, on our developer tools side of the business, we just shipped this new product for Blazor, and that has a different meaning to a .NET developer than an Angular developer. So if we're spending display ads for modern web, we need to really target and have a clear value prop. And like Casey said, for analytics, embedded analytics, that is our go-to-market with Reveal. We want you to embed this into your application. So let's make sure that our calls to action aren't always those long tail keywords because those click-through rates are going to be lower, which means the dollars that we spend are going to be higher. Be sure to include your logo and keep it simple, silly, less than 5 words in your headline.
Be sure to check out the next video in this series where we dive into SEO and the key performance metrics to track. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Reveal BI.